Dajjal is going to cut a man in half and then bring him back to life. So tomorrow when Dajjal is in Jerusalem and he declares, I am the Messiah, Protestant Islam is going to tell him, come on, cut a man in half and bring him back to life. Let's see if you're Dajjal. We say, no, this is symbolism. Dajjal is already doing that. Cutting a man in half and bringing him back to life represents the advancement, the spectacular advance that's been taking place in surgery. In surgery. Bypass operation, cutting him in half and then bringing him back to life. Spectacular advances. Dajjal is going to jump between the samawat and the earth, the skies and the earth, jumping up and down. You've got to be a very tall man to do that. If you're going to jump and your head is going to be in the sky, and you jump back down and your feet on earth, I mean, you've got to be miles high as a human being to achieve that, Well, then what does it mean? Dajjal is going to be jumping between the heavens and the earth. Answer, this is symbolism. Dajjal will have the technology with which to be able to go up and come down. And you have that now in the shuttle, which goes up to the spy stations up there, the military stations up there, up and down, up and down. Will step into an ocean and the water would reach up to his knee. You designed a picture already? Dajjal is going to step in the ocean. I think after tonight's lecture, you've got a lot of work to do here in Urban Village. Dajjal is going to step into the ocean and the water will reach him to his knee. Protestant Islam, of course, is going to wait for a man who is tall enough, so when he steps into the water, you will see the water reaching him up to his knee in the ocean. But you and I know that this is symbolism. It represents the technology with which Dajjal is able to go down to the bottom of the ocean and pick up, for example, pieces of an aircraft which crashed and reconstruct that aircraft, maybe 95%. They've done it already. And then the sun would rise from the west. Now wait a minute. The sun rising from the west is one of the signs of the end of history, not of the end of the world. The end of the world comes when all of this material universe is going to be transformed. The word in the Quran is tabdeel, into that which is ghayrul ardi was samawat, something different. If this one is physical in this sense of the word physical or space, that one will be non-physical. If this is temporal in this sense of the word of time, that will be non-temporal. Something different from this. And that is the end of the world, when the mountains will be like pieces of wool, and the graves, the earth will pitch out of its bowels. The graves, the people will come out of their graves, the resurrection. That is the end of the world. No one knows when that will take place. No one. How long after the end of history will it take place? Don't ask me, because I don't know. The Prophet ﷺ had a vision, and in this vision he saw Nabi Isa alayhi salam, the true Messiah, making tawaf around the Kaaba. And he was between two men. And he described Nabi Isa alayhi salam with his hair, long hair, as though water is dripping from the hair. And then after a while he saw another man making tawaf around the Kaaba. And he also had two men beside him, imitating the true Messiah. But he was Dajjal. You've got to put on your thinking cap now. What does a vision of Dajjal making tawaf around the Kaaba, what does it symbolize? Answer: 1400 years ago we knew that Mecca and Medina, the Haramain and the Hajj, will one day be under Dajjal's control. And that's where they are today. The Saudi Wahhabi rule over the Haramain and the Hajj today is on behalf of Dajjal. Saudi Arabia is now one of Israel's most strategic allies. Interpreted. There are more. Dajjal is going to come riding on a donkey. The donkey will travel as fast as the clouds. The donkey will have its two ears stretched out wide. A flying donkey with its ears stretched out wide? Now I think our artists over here tonight are going to have a field day with this symbolism. A flying donkey with its ears stretched out wide. I hope you don't get a problem with your government, huh? A flying donkey with his ears stretched out wide. Dajjal is going to come flying on that donkey. I have interpreted that donkey to be already here. Yes. When I come to Malaysia, I have to travel on that donkey. Yeah. I have to travel on that donkey every time I come to Malaysia. You can't get a ship anymore. No, they've stopped them. They're only cruise liners now, and you have to spend thousands of dollars. Only the rich travel by ship now. The rest of us, we have to use the flying donkey. And so Dajjal controls the sky. Because the flying donkey is not just the passenger aircraft. The flying donkey is also the fighter aircraft. The flying donkey is also cruise missiles and so on. And so Dajjal controls the sky. When war takes place, he quickly takes control of the sky. And once he controls the sky, it's only a matter of time. You can continue to wage guerrilla warfare as they're doing in Afghanistan, but you cannot knock out Dajjal once he controls the sky. And so we have important symbolism with which to help us explain our contemporary predicament. The Prophet said, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, that the earth would deliver its treasures to Dajjal. The earth would deliver its treasures to Dajjal. About 130 years ago perhaps, a child was playing in southern Africa and stumbled across a stone. The child picked it up. It looked pretty. Took it to the home and gave it to his father. The father looked at the stone and said, "This looks interesting." So he took it to the commissioner, South African commissioner of that area. The South African commissioner took the stone, sent it to Johannesburg. And in Johannesburg they declared that this is the biggest diamond that has ever been discovered. As soon as that news reached the world, the rush began. The rush began. And the people descended upon that southern Africa, southern part of southern Africa, from all over. But the Zionists were up front with their money. And then began the search for diamonds. But the diamonds are not located on the surface of the earth. That stone was meant to tell you the diamonds are there. But to go down to the bottom of the earth and locate what is known as a diamond vein, like the veins in your body, you need a certain technology. And only Dajjal had that. Modern Western civilization. They're the only ones that had it. And so they used their technology, using black African labor. And when they paid the black African laborers to dig, they didn't pay in gold and silver, they paid in paper. Until they located the diamond veins. The one with the biggest of all was in a place called, does anyone know? Kimberley is correct. The Kimberley diamonds. You will know when you get married and your wife wants a diamond ring. The Kimberley diamonds. My wife and I went to Kimberley ourselves. And we went to that big hole. It is so big you could put about 5 jumbo jets inside of that hole. That's how big it is. And at the side of the hole there were wheelbarrows. 5 wheelbarrows. And these wheelbarrows were filled with plastic nuggets to indicate to us the quantity of diamonds that came out. Those diamonds, thanks to a man named John Cecil Rhodes, who was backed by money from the Rothschilds in Europe, those diamonds made their way very safely to the Zionists in Europe. And they then sold them, cut them, polished them, sold them, and made a huge fortune, a mountain of bread. And it was that with that money that they were able to finance both sides of the First World War. And the First World War gave them the Holy Land. But there is a hadith, it's not only diamond, it's also gold. Wherever in the world gold was discovered, there.